One, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, and double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that taught us His word. I just came across this article today, and it's just going more into that the wayward doctrine. That we evolved from apes. That same doctrine. They've been pushing on us since we were kids. How we came from monkeys and all that. But when you read the scriptures and you understand the scriptures, you know that we didn't come from animals. There's different types of flesh. And this whole evolution thing, Esau wants to push, and it's not true. We were created in the image of the angels. But this article is from the Guardian.com, tracing the tangled tracks of humankind's evolutionary journey, by Hannah Devil, Hannah Devil, pushing this. The path from ape to modern human is not a linear one. Hannah Devlin looks at what we know and what might be next for our species. Our ancestry is still not entirely clear, although there is strong evidence for specimens such as whatever century being a direct ancestor or very close to our lineage. Ardipithecus ramidus. Let's go back to the beginning. When did we and our ape cousins part ways? Scientists are still working on an exact date, or even a date to within 1,000,000 years, like many of the big questions in human evolution. An answer itself has evolved over the past few decades, as new discoveries, techniques, and technology have provided fresh insights. Genetics has proved one of the most powerful tools for time-stamping the split with our closest living relative, the chimpanzee. And no, we're not related to the chimpanzee. When our complete genomes were compared in 2005, the two species were found to share 98% of their DNA. The differences hold important clues to how long our lineages have been diverging. By estimating the rate at which new genetic mutations are acquired over generations, scientists can use the genetic differences as a molecular clock to give a rough idea of when the split occurred. Most calculations suggest that it's been 4 to 8 million years ago. A simple-minded person would read that and they would be like, they would believe it. And the Earth is not 8 million years old. Billions of years old. The Earth isn't even that old. This time window is more recent than was originally thought. In the 1960s, fossil evidence led paleontologists to conclude that a 14-year-old ape, Ramapithecus, was the earliest ancestor of the human line. Based on the shape of its jaw, subsequent DNA analysis has revealed a split occurred long after that. Ramapithecus is now considered an orangutan ancestor. So scientists still looking for the missing link between us and other ape species. We still don't know the identity of most recent common ancestors with chimpanzees, but scientists tend to dislike the phrase missing link because it implies that evolution proceeds in orderly linear fashion with well-defined junctures. They don't like that missing link because they can't prove the origin of man. They just speculate that man evolved from apes. because he's not spiritual. He doesn't believe in the Bible. It gives a sense that there is a single transitional form that magically bridges the gap between living ape and human ape, in a living human, and suggests we've got to fit everything into our line of evolution, says Chris Stinger, head of human origin at the Natural History Museum. Yeah, because they can't believe that, just a higher power, just created us from the dust, He can't get that. He can't understand that. He's the natural man. He's not, the spiritual man. But yeah, enough on that, just the same old garbage that they've been pushing. We're still pushing it. But the first scripture is Genesis 1:26. And the power said, and if you understand Genesis and you look up the word God, in the Hebrew, the word there is Elohim, meaning plural, meaning powers, plural. So it's talking about the angels. And the powers said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. Yeah, so man didn't come from apes, man had the dominion over, the apes and, the fowls and all the animals back in that time. And the monkeys. So the powers created man in his own image, and the image of the Most High created he him, male and female created he them. Yeah, so powers, the angels that made man and female. Second scripture is Genesis 2:7. And the Lord power formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. So man was formed from the earth, he was given laws, statutes, and commandments, and he became a living spirit, he became a living man, male and female. Just the last scripture is 1 Corinthians 15:39. All flesh is not the same flesh, but there is one kind of flesh of men, another flesh of beasts, another of fishes, and another of birds. So we don't have the same flesh as a chimpanzee. It's a different type of flesh. We don't have the same flesh as the birds and the fishes. Our flesh is different from an ape. We don't have the same structure, molecular structure, the same DNA. All this lies talking about 98%. No, we don't have the same DNA. We don't have the same flesh. It's two separate fleshes. Alright? All flesh is not the same flesh, but there is one kind of flesh of men and another flesh of beasts. Plain and simple right there. Another of fishes and another of birds. So yeah, all this evolution talk, they've been pushing since I was a kid. It's garbage. It's just more rhetoric, lies that they push you. The earth is billions of years old and all that. But no, you gotta go by the scriptures, what the scriptures say. That's what it says. The powers say, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creepy thing that creepeth upon the earth. We lost that dominion. We don't have that dominion no more. You got bears and apes, you try to go out to the wilderness, you get eaten up. Esau still does that, but Jake, you don't go out to the wilderness, man. A lion will kill you. We don't have that dominion like we once did. But the kingdom, we'll get that back. You know, Scripture says our children are going to play with snakes. We can just leave our child out there, and it'll be good. But yeah, I just wanted to speak on that for a little bit. Different fleshes. Just came across this article just now, and I got the inspiration to do this video. But yeah, with that, shalom.